Hey YouTubers, coming to you live from my car, about to head across the Bay Bridge in San Francisco on my way to work. I wanted to just do a quick video about the holidays coming up and the stress that causes, and stress by way of food options and schedule disruptions, routine disruptions, and being around family and friends that might be more difficult for you to get along with, or for them to understand what's going on and why you need to do what you need to do. I am in a bit of immune flare right now, and some of you might have seen my Facebook threads about kind of, yes, still experiencing symptoms, but letting your body do what it needs to do without getting angry with it or having attachment to it being a forever thing. I think it's easy for us to attach a story of permanent suffering, which is understandable because we're having such a hard time, and of course, you know, we can't see out of that moment because it's really rough. So first thing, I encourage you not to say, fuck it, I feel bad, so I'm going to stay up to all hours of the night, every night, during Halloween, during Thanksgiving, during Christmas, and also not to necessarily, I mean, give yourself permission if you're feeling okay, but if you already feel like shit, probably looking at your motivation for drinking or eating a bunch of sweets or foods that push you into farther flare. It's a tendency of mine to already feel like crap and then just say, you know what, well, fuck it, I feel like crap anyway, so I'm going to eat crap, or I'm going to treat my body or myself further badly, so to speak, and just push it farther down the line, because if I'm already suffering, why not have some simple pleasure in it? Just kind of keeping it balanced and looking at your motivations and seeing what the root of that is, because ultimately I think the energy that we surround ourselves with and is the motivating factor for our given action dictates a lot. So, you know, if I'm in a flare but I feel very nostalgic and loving and happy about the fact that I want to eat a Christmas cake that my grandma makes, then that's a very different feeling than saying, this already sucks, so I'm gonna do further harm anyway. So just kind of examining that. And then also, like I said, about spending time with people, family, friends that might be triggers. Give yourself permission to walk away at any time if it's not serving you, and having a place to retreat, even if that means going home. Just because it's the holidays does not mean we have to put up with extra bullshit from people. It doesn't mean we have to necessarily play nice, so to speak. We can just calmly remove ourselves. Any of the stuff I'm talking about, definitely look at your motivation for doing so. So I'm losing my train of thought. But essentially, you know, looking for calm motivations in all that you do during this time, treating yourself well, and looking out for what happens in the new year, and the fact that you will still be around, and there is time for positivity and healing and stuff, you know. I was telling my friend the other day, who is just now finding out that they might have severe cervical instability and they have a headache every single day, that I was sick for 21 years without any clue what was going on, suffering, and I had tried all of the things, I had seen all of the doctors, the practitioners, and it's really hard to stay positive when you feel like shit, but I think human nature dictates that there must be a twinge underneath all that suffering somewhere that wants us to continue to get better. So it can get better. This is why I'm urging you to examine your motivations for your activities this holiday season, because find that twinge of positivity underneath it all. I'm not saying be perfectly positive every day, because that's really difficult during the suffering, but don't tell yourself a story that this is lifelong suffering. You can get relief in many different forms and different levels, even if that's just you being nicer to yourself, and so then everything gets easier. So this is a public service announcement from my car going across the Bay Bridge, and I will have a more directed, specific video, you know, when it comes about. I always say hopefully soon, but now I'm realizing that when I feel led to do a video, I do, and when I don't, I don't. So more to come.